Hi everyone, I wanted to record this intro for you today. We are absolutely about to get into our Motivation and Mindset Monday, but with everything going on in the world today, I did want to give you a quick update. This show was pre-recorded about 3 weeks ago before all of the main viral-based issues have occurred. Now, I recorded the content before I left for Australia, and the reason was I was putting on an event with the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, and then I was going to be traveling with my family around Australia. Well, of course, the event did take place, luckily, but that trip did get cut short. Now, I debated whether I should make this episode of our Mindset and Motivation Monday more timely. However, I don't want everything that we talk about and everything that I talk about with you on the Cabral concept to be completely overwhelmed and overpowered by the COVID-19 virus. So what I've decided to do after a lot of debate, actually about a week's worth of debate, is keep today's show. And it is focused on your goals for the quarter. And I know many people's goals right now are focused around what they need to do in order to stay safe, to stay healthy. And hopefully my previous podcast and my 3 videos at stephencabral.com/virus have helped with that. But today I do want to speak about our goals. I want to talk about our life at large. And I also want to talk about what is life going to look like in the next quarter, in 2 quarters. So even though the assessment is absolutely real and it is needed, I wanted to bring it to you, but I want to be sensitive, of course, with the time that we're in right now. So please do understand that this was recorded about 3 weeks ago and well before the main outbreak of this particular virus. The last thing I want to share with you is that I mentioned that I had a virus in late 2019 on a trip over to Germany, and it also culminated with a larger viral-based issue in January. Do I believe that was COVID-19? I don't believe so, but I don't know. The good news is I recovered. It's about 2 months later. I'm very healthy. I feel fantastic. I appreciate any concern people have talked about with me saying that I had a virus. I feel great. I want everyone to know that, and I don't know whether it was COVID-19 or not, but I can let you know that a healthy, balanced immune system will enable you in life in general to recover, to be well. And again, I wanted to share all of this with you, but a little bit of context. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please let me know your feedback. And again, I'm happy to help answer any questions in any way that I can. Take care.
Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are about to get started with our Mindset and Motivation Monday, where I'm excited to share with you my wins and losses for the first quarter and really check in with you over these first 90 days of the year, or hopefully the first part to your 12-week year, of how you did, how you've done. And let's look at this from a place really of non-judgment, but rather self-awareness and checking in. So if you haven't checked in yet, today I want that to be the day. And what I want to do by the end of this show is also say, how did it look, right? So how did the first 90 days look? Now, what do we want our next 90 days to look like? And then how do we go about achieving that? So here's the thing. As long as you're checking in with yourself, you don't need to get down on yourself. You don't need to judge yourself. You need to be gentler with yourself. Because remember, you live with you all day long. So be gentle, be kind. But also at the same time, let's be firm with what we want to do for the next quarter. So we don't want another year to pass by without us achieving our financial career goals, our relationship goals, our spirituality goals, our body transformation goals, and our health and wellness goals. So, my goal is to help people with their body transformation,
their health, their wellness, but hopefully that allows them then to live their absolute best life in their relationships, their spirituality, their career, their hobbies, their passions. So that's my goal, is let me give you the energy, zest, and vitality back for life so that you want to then live life to its fullest. So that's what I hope to be able to do, but also at the same time on these Mindset and Motivation Mondays, I get to share with you 20 years of working on rewiring my programming, my conditioning, my belief system, so that I can get to the point now where I feel like I am able to achieve. I am able to set my mind to things and make it happen. Not because I have a special skill set, but I've figured out a few things along the way. And I want to pass those on to you. Not that I'm perfect, and probably you're not perfect either, but we can do our best. And there's going to be hiccups along the way. There's going to be sometimes some major ones, but we'll get through those as well. That's what these Mindset and Motivation Mondays are all about. So let me share with this. Like the first 90 days, we just look at our year in quarters, right? So we have January, February, March. Then we have April, May, June. We're going to be talking about this on today's show. Now, if you really want to know how I structure the year and how I teach people to structure the year, go back and just simply go to stevencabral.com/podcasts and just type in 12-week year. And if you do that, you'll see my previous shows that at the end of every year, so every single end of December, beginning of January, what I do is I teach people this principle of the 12-week year. And all it is working on taking big goals and then breaking them down, breaking them down, breaking them down, breaking them down a little bit more so it seems way more achievable. I always give the goal of, looking to lose weight. Say someone has 50 pounds to lose. That can seem overwhelming. You're like, oh, how do I lose 50 pounds? Well, looking at losing 50 pounds is tremendous. It's okay, that's a lot of weight to lose, right? 100 pounds is a lot of weight to lose, but people do it, and they do it all the time, honestly, but they don't do it overnight. So this is what we always tell people. The first month, if you need to lose 50 pounds, the first month, you're going to lose 15 plus pounds. You really will. So in 30 days, you're going to lose 15 pounds. Now, what do you have left? You have 35 pounds, right? It's okay. You have 35 pounds to lose. And it's our belief that you can lose 1% of your body weight each week on average, every single week. So yeah, let's say that you weigh 200 pounds. Okay. Well, so 1% is 2 pounds a week. Some weeks you lose 3 pounds. Some weeks you lose none. But on average, you'll lose about 2 pounds a week. So that's 8 pounds a month. Well, we just said that you'll lose 15 pounds or potentially more if you have 50 pounds to lose your first month. You do that through the 21-day functional medicine detox we have, or more specifically, the Fatlocity system. That's the best one to use. So, okay, so you lose 15 plus pounds your first month. You have 35 more pounds to go. Okay, well, how long is that going to take? Let's do really easy math. 8 pounds a month divided by 35. Well, really close to about 4 months, maybe 4.5 months. So we add on the first month as well, 5.5 months. Well, what do we have? You'll lose 50 pounds within 6 months. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So 6 months from now, if you have 50 pounds to lose, you can lose that. You can absolutely lose that. Then there'll be some people that say, that's amazing. And then there'll be some people that say, I don't want to wait 6 months. Well, so here's the thing. The time's going to pass anyways, right? It's going to pass anyway. You might as well get started. If you can do it in 3 months, great. If you can lose in 3 months, fantastic, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way. But let's just move forward anyway, and let's work towards achieving our goal. That's why people ask me, I practice all the time, how long is it going to take for me to get well? And I say, I really don't know. I really don't know, and I don't want to tell you this long, and I don't want to tell you that long. But here's the thing. We know what we need to do. We need to move forward. We need to get forward in your practice because that's how you're going to heal. So whether it's 21 days or 6 months, who knows? But let's move forward. You'll get well. You're going to heal. Let's move forward. That's what we need to do. And that's how I look at the year. I set goals for myself. I hope I'll achieve them by this certain date. And if I don't, well, what do I do? Do I stop? No, because it was important to me. So if the goal is important to you, let's get back on track. That's what these check-ins are all about. So at the end of 90 days, at the end of your 12-week year, and if you kind of get it by now, there's 12 weeks times 4. So you basically live 4 years in a year. And that is how you can become super successful, I believe, in anything. And that's why I want to start to get away from successes just like career-wise. Success is so much in many, many more parts of your life. Like your spirituality matters. It does. Your relationships matter. And I work with millionaires and billionaires, and I'll tell you this, some are super happy and some not so much. And that's because that money is not everything. Money is just a tool that may give you options, and it may allow you to help yourself, your family, and your community, and give to charity and a lot of other things. And it can do a lot of good, but it's only one factor. So let's look at many, many parts of our life. All right, so what I want to do right now is share with you some of my wins. I want to be open with you. I want to be honest with you, and I want to share with you some of my losses. And hopefully you can start to see that, again, for everybody, we all have our own trials and tribulations. We all go through our own challenges in life. So please understand that we all are in our own spot in life. Some quarters are going to be better than others, but let's not give up, right? Let's keep pushing forward. Okay, so before we get to the losses, let's go over the wins. Let's start with the good. Well, a couple things here. I've still, even though we are growing, so Equilibrium Nutrition is growing as one of the top leaders in the global functional medicine space. I believe that we're the only company to ship labs into over 24 countries around the world. We're growing tremendously. We're developing software that is going to be the next level in health coaching. So all of the labs are in one portal. This is done in conventional medicine, but never in functional medicine or natural health. So we're doing that, hiring more people all the time, which is amazing to get to grow the team. So all these things are absolutely fantastic. But even at the same time, I'm still able to get home, have dinner with my girls every night. I'm still able to take the weekends off and enjoy quiet time with them. So that's a big win for me, is being able to not necessarily work more. I mean, I work a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, I work a good amount, but I'm able to balance that. Or I should say, the term that I like is I'm able to integrate that still with my family time, so that I look back and 10 years from now, I regret when my daughters are teenagers that I was not able to spend that time with them. And again, I'm fortunate to be able to do that. Like, I know that a lot of people would be able to do that, but they can't make their schedule. They can't do whatever. So listen, I get it. Wednesday nights, I'm still not there, meaning like having dinner. It's one night that I don't, but I'm there, before bed. And the reason I don't is that there are trade-offs in life, and that's a night that I have to work late. I see people in my practice all over the world, and when you're talking to somebody in Australia and it's 5 o'clock my time and it's 6 in the morning their time or 7 a.m., there's just gives and takes. So anyway, it's a nice balance, and I'm very, very happy to be able to maintain that. I'm also really happy that I found an exercise program that I love doing for me, and it's just one that I created for me. I always talk about creating the right program for you, and I'm really able to do that 5 days a week. I'm loving it, meaning that at no point does my body feel like I'm wearing it out. I'm going to get to that in some of my losses, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the balance between the cardio and the weight training, and a lot of it right now. So I haven't got there yet. I'm going to get back in a little bit, but right now I've been staying away from barbells and really even staying away from a lot of the heavier dumbbells, and I've been doing body weight and kettlebell pull-ups and dips, and of course lots of push-ups as part of my morning routine, but kettlebell swings and get-ups and just a lot of great exercises, keeping my body more just lighter, leaner, and feeling good. Like, that's the truth. And so I've been really enjoying my new exercise program. Of course, I'll share with you that on upcoming shows, although it will be changing. And moved into my new office. I mean, I've been waiting now quite some time to get this new office. Finally, renovations have taken place, replaced with a new window so I don't hear sirens necessarily going on all day long around me. And it's a beautiful, beautiful space that I'm super grateful for. I have all my books here beside me. I have my microscope. I have new shelving that allows me to kind of just, when I look over to it, I get to see all the artifacts that I brought home from overseas. I can see the ones here from China in front of me, from Sri Lanka, from India. I've got my Ganesh right here. I've got my jade, what's called the family jade family ball, and it's basically carved jade inside of carved jade, and it's kind of represents the family. So beautiful. I've got plants here. I've got a sitting area with a couch and some nice comfortable chairs. I've got a little kind of like coffee bar, which is used for my supplements and stuff. So really, really nice. And it was all about creating a space that was large enough that I could entertain some people in here for our meetings, but really shoot video. And we accomplished that with our first video shoot just a couple weeks ago. So I have different areas to be able to shoot a lot of video, and super excited about that, because my next goal, so my 2020 for me, has been about wanting to do more video. I just want to be able to connect with people on every level possible. I love the podcast. Don't get me wrong. Podcast is my favorite thing to do. There's no doubt about it. And it's more difficult to do it on video, but that's going to be the next level, right? It's going to be, how do I also take this to video. So that's my goal, and we're getting there, right? It's slower than I want it to be. I'm not the most patient person in the world. I'm really not. But I've learned patience over the years. I had zero patience when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. And I've learned more patience over the years. So sometimes it just takes some people a little longer than others, and I seem to be one of those people. But I'm glad that, I've been learning that. And then the last thing for me is that I ran my labs. It was funny. I'll just share a funny story with you. So I hadn't gone. Well, it'd been a little while since I'd gone to my PCP, and the doctor's office actually called me. So my primary care physician, who I'd seen way back when I had Addison's disease and type 2 diabetes and rheumatoid arthritis and POTS and, you name it, I had it. And so I hadn't seen him for quite some time. And he's a great guy. He's a really smart doctor, graduated from Harvard, all that good stuff. Of course, back in the day, nobody had any idea what was wrong with me, and he didn't either. But that's besides the point. They called me and they said, listen, if you want to maintain a PCP for your insurance, we need you to come in or you need to switch to another doctor. And I said, okay, I should come in anyways because, I'll get my blood labs run hopefully through my insurance. So that'll be a good thing. I'm paying for insurance. I'm not using it. Might as well go in there. So, and that's a good thing, right? I mean, I hate paying for insurance, or I dislike paying for insurance just like anyone else. But, it's nice that we need it. Or I should say, it's not nice that we need it. It's nice to say that we're paying for it and we don't need it, right? So I'm very grateful for that. So I go in and he looks at me, he goes, Steven, he said, how long has it been? And I said, I don't know, like 6 years, 7 years? He looks at me, he goes, almost 12 years. And I said, oh, okay, well, it's great to see you. I was like, you're looking good. And he just starts laughing. He's like, let's go. And so we just had a nice chat, ran my blood work. And now on top of that, I ran my Big 5 labs, and happy to say that things are good. Life is good and my health is good. So super happy about that, just because like anyone else, I still worry. I still want to make sure that I'm in good health. There's no doubt about that. And so I do hope that you've really run your functional medicine labs and your blood work as well. The blood work is great, no doubt about it. Make sure you are disease free from a conventional medicine perspective, but run those Big 5 labs, or at least run the starter kit to make sure that you have all of your vitamins, your minerals, your gut health, like everything is up to par. Okay, super, super important. All right, so those are my wins, and I'm very happy about those, and I try to focus on those, and I get a feeling of gratitude and appreciation and proud. Like, hey, listen, I've worked towards these. Not perfect, do my best, and for the most part, things are good. So, well, what are some of my losses? And for me, there's a couple. And the first one, and the biggest one that my mind was really focused on, is that when I traveled overseas, I picked up a virus. So when I went to Germany last year, that was in November, and the irony is I was at World Medicine Week. I know the irony. I laugh, and it makes me at least have a little fun with it. I was coming back from World Medicine Week, and we was either on the plane, it was at World Medicine Week, I don't know. I was in Germany, different viruses apparently, and when I came back, I had a terrible virus. Now, luckily, I practiced what I preach, and I got better, and it took about a week each, it took about 7 to 10 days. Well, whatever this virus is, I relapsed 2 more times through January. So once in December and once in January. And it was many years since I've had a fever like this. I even talked about it just months ago. Like, I haven't had a fever in forever. And I wasn't even proud of that. I'm like, I was just wondering, is my immune system still working? Like, am I able to create a fever to kill these viruses? Well, the good news is, yes, I am. The bad news is these viruses really wiped me out. They really wiped me out. And I want you to know that, because I want you to know that I am not bulletproof either. None of us are. We're just not. And I didn't want to pick up this virus. And I took a lot of precautions, but I meet thousands of people. When I was at World Medicine Week, I was in contact with 4,000 people, like legitimately 4,000 people speaking at the convention, at the expos, and then I'm on a plane with people coughing all over the place. Things happen. They really do. Now, here's the thing. I still had to go on with my life as a father, as a husband, as someone that runs multiple health-based companies, and as a integrative health practitioner and functional medicine doctor for many, many people. So I still had to move forward, and it was challenging on some days, especially when I was feeling run down. So, I had to take a step back, which meant this. When you're not doing your best, what you need to do is focus on critical components that need to be taken care of. So my family needs to be taken care of. Of course, relationship with my wife, my work, all of those things need to be taken care of. But what I tried to do was go to bed much earlier. Like that was the thing. Try to go to bed earlier. When I was at my worst with the virus, I was going to bed there was 4 days I remember specifically, and this never happens, but it happens. Like, listen, it happened. It had been well over a decade. I can't even remember the last time, but I was in bed by like 7:30. My body I had a fever. I was not feeling well. And so I just said, listen, we need to take the nutritional supplements that are going to help you get well. You need to allow your body time to rest, and you will heal. I just kept telling myself, you will heal. You see this every day. You're just in the same position now as the people that you help, and you will heal. And then what I had to do, and the hard part was, I had to step back from my exercise. I had to allow all of my energy to go towards healing and not depleting it anymore. So I ate well. I actually fasted for 3 straight days when my fever was at its highest, and I did heal. And so now all of February, I'm back. Or I should say February, March, I'm back. So that's the nice thing, is that I enabled my body to heal. And then what I did was take it really easy in February, like really easing back into exercise and movement with a lot of the body weight-based programming. I carried that through March, but I simply ramped up the number of sets that I did and the amount of cardio that I did. And now moving forward in April, May, and June, I get to create a new 12-week year. So the losses were for me were from being wiped out, which affected my ability to produce more work, meaning I could not do more than the status quo. It's just the way that it was. I still did the status quo, but I couldn't do more than that. I still did my reading because that allowed me to be in a more relaxed state, but my exercise suffered as well. So those are my losses, and I just wanted to share that honestly with you. The nice thing is, I feel great. I really do. I feel great. I'm back to how I was before, and I'm just cognizant now. I talk about this all the time, and it's sometimes nice, and I know it's strange, that I'll still get, usually it's just a normal sickness that I'll get in the winter. And I recover in 3 to 4 days. And again, life is good again. And that teaches me, listen, perspective. Things could be a lot worse. And when you're feeling well, appreciate it, enjoy it. And that's what I'm doing now. So I feel great. I really do. Had a tremendous trip overseas to Australia. And what I'm doing now for my April, May, and June is I'm focused on new growth. And I'm focused on expansion. Not from the point that I want to make up for lost time and burn myself out, and that's why I bring this up. But actually from the perspective that I want to do more. I want to get out there. So now you will start to see that video on social media, on Facebook, and our private Facebook group at cabralsupportgroup.com. You will see it on Instagram, and you'll see it on YouTube as I start to grow out what I want to be really a full showcase of how to get well on YouTube. We have the podcast, but now how do we do that as well through video? So super excited about that. I'm very excited as well that we'll be teaching a new course debuting the 1st of June in IHP, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. So super, super excited about that. And then also my exercise. I want to get back into that. And I want this to be the year really that I'm ramping back up my training. So that is what I'm looking forward to. That's my April, May, and June. And that's going to be my next 12 weeks. So I'm going to focus on work. I'm going to focus on the video that I've been wanting to do for years and years and years. I'm going to be focusing on my exercise. And that's that. Really, that's what I'm looking forward to is more in these 3 months coming up. I believe that now that I've healed my body and all my labs look fantastic, I'm ready to go. And then what I'll do is the following quarter for July, August, is those are more of they're not quiet down months, but they're much more on enjoying those 2 big months of summer we have here in New England, celebrating, being able to take a little time with family, really appreciating family and extended family that we have up to Maine, and just enjoying that peace and that quiet and that relaxation that I get during that time of the year. So I'm going to earn that. I'm going to work these next 12 weeks. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to try to push myself not to the limit, to the point where I'm burning out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I'm going to move, right? So I just took a month traveling with family. And again, I'm still doing work at that time, but that's the balance. And now I'm really going to push it, really going to ramp up, and just, again, thankful, grateful that I recovered nicely from those viruses, that I have my energy back, that I'm feeling good. And then I'm going to use that now to hopefully serve with family, to serve our community, to teach more, to really get out there more. And then I will take a little bit more time for myself during those summer months. So hopefully this was helpful. I don't know if it was or not. It's a little bit different, me talking about me, but I wanted to share it with you and just let you know that, again, I'm not infallible, I'm not bulletproof, and that I do go through my own things. But I wanted to share too that there is always that light on the other side. That I came through it, you'll get through whatever you have to get through as well. And I just want you to know that if I can be of help at all, please let me know. Please let my team and I know. You can ask the question over at CabralSupportGroup.com. You can comment on Instagram. You can ask a question for the Weekend Cabral House Calls. Whatever you need, we want to be there for you. I really believe that we have the experience and the education, the knowledge, and the caring to say, like, let us help you with this. We can do it. So thank you so much. Hopefully this has been helpful. If it has, let me know. And if it has, of course, please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or imbalanced in only 2 ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to StephenCabral.com/rainbarrel.